All right, so I had a customer bring in this interesting looking computer from China. The problem with this is it's actually using this Chinese, or I don't know what other countries use that, but it's using that weird shaped plug, not the usual US one. And then this plug won't work because the power supply is actually a 240 volt power supply. So first thing we gotta do, we gotta pull this cover off. Okay, so this case design actually comes apart pretty easy. You just grab it and pull on it, okay, on both sides, at the bottom as well. Okay, just like that, and it just pops off. Very simple. It does have these 3 little contact points here to light it up. All right, we'll set that aside. We'll do the same thing on this side as well. Okay, just pull that off. Just like that. This other side also has the 3 contact points. Okay, so I kind of hate that they use some zip ties here, but we'll see. Hopefully we won't have to remove all of them, but we definitely have to remove the one that's holding this, okay? So I'm gonna just use this cutter thing here. You can also use like fingernail cutters if you can get them in there. You should be able to use that. All right, so you can see we kind of have access to that, but we're gonna have to probably cut all the way down, and then we're gonna have the wires everywhere. I usually prefer twist ties because of this, so what we'll do, I can actually wrap that, and then I have this twist tie here, and we'll just twist that on. Okay, so we'll use this twist tie, and we will hold this stuff all together. All right, I like twist ties because you can undo it and redo it, and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut the last one down here. You want to be very careful. There's a lot of wires. You don't want to accidentally snip the wires. Okay, let's see here. Do we got more? How many more of these do we need to remove? This wire's kind of tangled up in here, so we gotta make sure to get it out. Okay, sorry, I know the view is probably not too great, but gotta do what I gotta do. Just work with me here. Okay. Alright, how do they have this wired in here? It's like, oh, I think I have to unplug that piece. Okay, let's cut the last one all the way down here. I don't know if you guys can see, but hopefully you can. Okay. Alright, so we'll get this, and this wire, okay, comes out just like that. Alright, so we are going to also have to take out the big one here. I probably shouldn't have bolted it back, or tied it back, because we are going to have to take all of these out. So let's actually undo the twist tie here. We'll put it back later. And since the new power supply came with a bunch of twist ties around the wires, we can actually reuse those. Alright, so let's go ahead now and disconnect. These are very standard desktop connections. We got the 24-pin ATX connector. There's a little push thing here. We'll squeeze that, and then you kind of just wiggle it like this to pull it out. That's the easiest way. Here you can see how that clip works. When you pinch this, it pulls that clip up, right? And we're just going to push it through into this hole so we can get that out. Okay, we also have an 8-pin, there's an 8-pin connector up here, but it's really hard to see. But same idea, there's a latch at the top of it. You pinch it, and then you kind of just wiggle this, and you should eventually be able to wiggle it out. Once you kind of wiggle it out a little, the clip won't re-engage, and then you can pull it out by hand that way. Okay, next thing we gotta do, we gotta thread that wire through the hole on this side. Okay, so just get that out. Careful, because it's going to get caught on other wires. Alright, oh, also this one, you can pull this top piece off. Let me zoom out here. So you can pull this top piece off to clean off dust and things. Pretty nice. Alright, and then it kind of holds in. Oh, there's also these little feet that need to go in first, so you gotta swing it up like that and drop it down. Okay, so we got that. Don't forget the GPU, graphics card power connection, and we gotta thread that through as well. Okay, so let's see here. Alright, got that. We're gonna have to cut this zip tie as well up here because it's holding this one in place. There we go. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to redo all this wiring now because the way they put those zip ties. Okay, got that. We'll push this one out this way. And then we got the video card one. Hopefully it will go through without having to take the video card out, but I might have to take the video card out. Let's see. I don't even know if I can show this camera because I have to hold it at a weird angle. Okay, so this one has both of these. Both of these. Right, we can actually go around, I believe, and push it through to the top. Here we go. And then now we can get it out easier because we can push it through this bigger hole up top. Okay, just like that. Right, make sure you try and get it through the right hole. There we go. So we got the GPU connection and all of that. Okay, make sure you don't accidentally disconnect other stuff. I don't know if anyone's going to have this same computer. I'll be surprised. But there we go. Untangle everything. And now we just have all these wires coming out here. We're going to have to thread those all through. So we're going to have to pull all of those through this hole down here. Kind of a small hole for all these connections to go through, but let's see. Okay, if you do one at a time, it should be okay. You want to check the other side as well, make sure nothing's getting caught over there. And sorry, I know I'm not giving you guys good viewing angles, but let's see, I gotta do what I gotta do because, yeah, I mean, you get the idea. We're just threading all the wires out through that hole. Okay. And the weird thing is how they mounted this power supply. We'll get to that real soon. Okay, so now that we got all the wiring onto this side, now we just got to get the power supply out. So the power supply is actually held in with 3 screws. There's 2 screws on the bottom here. Okay, so we're going to have to remove those 2. I'm using a PH2. And there's 1 screw here. Hopefully you can see that. Alright. Sorry, there's 1 screw there. Where'd it go? Okay, don't lose those screws. We're going to need them. Alright, there's 1 screw here. I'm not too sure why they designed it this way, but that's how they designed it. Okay, so we got those 2. And then we have 1 hidden screw on the other side. So we got to go to the other side here. And there's 1 screw over here. Okay, very strange. I don't know why they did it that way. But there we go, we got those 3 screws out. Carefully rotate this. Huh. Was this USB 3 thing never plugged in? Does this motherboard not support that? Alright, anyways, now that we got those 3 screws out, you can see this thing will come out. Okay, and we're gonna now pull the power supply out of there. It comes out like this, and the wire just threads through that hole. Actually, we're gonna pull this out and thread it through the opposite way, this way, because that end is smaller and can fit through the hole in the back. So we don't need this anymore. We can set that aside or toss it or whatever. Alright. Now we got this. Actually, he can probably reuse that cable since he has the adapter. But we're going to transfer this over to the new power supply. Okay, so the new power supply we have is this RM850X. Alright. This Chinese one, I don't know. I've never heard this brand before. And I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 790 watt, not volts. And you can see the output and everything. Oh, actually, it's only 600 watt. Power rating 600 watt. That's very low. Anyways, product features. What else does it say? I don't know why they call it 790V. That's maybe just the brand name. ATX 800A. And the input here you can see 220 to 240 volt AC. So, yeah. All right. Anyways, we're gonna transfer this over to the new one, and you do want the fan facing down when you install this. So let's go ahead and take this bracket out. Let's see if we can transfer it over like the same. So we'll have this one here, and we're just going to take these screws out and then migrate it over. Okay, so we have that here. Let's take these 4 screws out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. We have this metal bracket. We can now get rid of that power supply. It's probably still usable, but only in countries where 240 volts used. All right, then we got to get this lined up and put the new screws in. Okay. I'm just loosely fitting it first, so that way I can get all the screws lined up. All right, now that we got all 4 screws in, we can go ahead now and tighten it down. All right. And this specific computer doesn't use too many connections. I'll probably give them the other cables just so they have them. But let's see here. So we have the motherboard, SATA and peripherals and stuff, and then the CPU connections. So this specific computer only needs the 8-pin, the motherboard, and one PCIe, and then one 4-pin Molex. So we're gonna get all those parts here. Let me take a look at this motherboard, because I don't know why they didn't use the USB. I believe it's a USB-C connector, actually, the one that they didn't plug in. Does this motherboard not have one? I think it doesn't. Yeah, I don't see that. So I guess they never used that. That's sad. They have the ability to. Okay. Sorry, I'm probably making people get dizzy, but yeah, underneath the GPU is just a fan connector, it seems. So I guess the USB-C connector is not used. All right. Anyways, let's get this thing back together. We'll put this guy up here. Okay, let's see. We'll zoom out a bit. Okay. So now we just got to get the new power supply in with the power cable. So we will need the power cable there. Let me see. So we have this power cable. Let me go grab a power cable and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So we got the cable here. Let's untwist it. Okay, come on. All right, and then we're gonna attach this. Oh, why is this cable stuck on there? There we go. All right, so we're gonna attach this in advance. We do have to thread it through the back hole here. Okay, so get that through. Make sure to untwist the wiring. Okay, then we got this. We're gonna get this plugged in. All right, plug that in all the way. Make sure that this is on. All right, this specific power supply, I don't know if it states it's 120 only. So this is actually 100 to 240 volt, 12 amp to 6 amp. So yeah, this power supply actually I believe is auto switching. I don't think there's a switch to change it to 240 volt or 120 volt. So it doesn't matter. You can plug it in any country and you should be okay. All right, so that's good because this thing is going to be trapped back there. So we're going to line this back up. Okay. And then, did I do this right? Yep. Okay. So let me make sure this thing is going in properly because we do need to make sure the screws can go in. Okay, so now that we got this lined up, we do need to get those screws back in. Okay, hold that into place and get that screw in. Okay, one screw in, second one down here. Good. All right. Got those two, and we'll get the last one. So I don't know why they did this, because now you permanently have this cable stuck here unless you open it. I feel it's kind of not a nice design that way, but I don't know. They did what they wanted to. All right, anyway, so we'll get this screw in. All right, and there we go. We have the power supply mounted. Next thing we're gonna do, we gotta get everything plugged back in. So let's go back over here and let's start getting the wires. So we have obviously the motherboard wire. Okay, we're gonna undo this. And let's plug in the motherboard here. I don't know, should we put it the same way it was before, like that? Okay, I think it went through this way, so we're gonna, oops, sorry. So we're gonna get the motherboard cables through there, and it'll be easier if I thread the larger one through this side first. Okay, so we'll get this side in through here. Okay, and the easiest way that I do this is, if you can see, you have the latch here and then the latch here. So what I do is I make it so the latches are facing each other when the wire is pointing towards me. Okay, and then that way when I fold it over, it will go the right way. Okay, so we pull this, fold it over, and there we go. All right, so get that cable in. I like to wiggle it, and then you'll hear it click, and then you know it's good. All right, so there we go. We got that cable in. Obviously, we didn't plug it into the actual power supply yet, but we got it in place. Okay, next we'll need the CPU one, so we'll unravel this one. Okay, and then we'll thread it through the back first here. Okay, make sure you do the right end, because one end goes to the power supply. The end that goes to the motherboard is the one that can split in half. All right, so we'll get this into there. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing, line up the clip and then flip it over. Okay, so the clip is at the top. Sorry, I know you guys can't see, but the clip is at the top here. So we're going to make sure that clip is right now facing down, and then we're going to fold it over. Let me see if I can get this part on camera. I don't know if I can get this part on camera. Okay, we got this cable, and then line it up and then flip it over. We'll pull the excess out afterwards. So get that in, click it. Again, I like to wiggle it to get it to click in. It works a lot better. Okay, and then we can pull the excess through. Obviously, you already know how to do that part. Just get the excess wire back the other way so you don't have all that wire inside the computer tower where all the fans and stuff are. Okay, sorry, I know it's really hard to record this. All right, next thing we got is the GPU cable. Okay, so the thing with this GPU cable is they only have with the doubler. They don't have where it's just a single one, so you're gonna kind of have some cable hanging out. But let's see, we'll try and minimize it as much as possible. So we have this here. Let me actually kind of lower this some and then tilt it up a little for you guys. I'm gonna see all my junk everywhere, I think. All right, there we go. So we got this. All right, so we're gonna line up this cable. Okay, and then we will get that in, and again, just wiggle it to click it in place. And this, we actually will have it go underneath here. And I'm thinking actually, instead of having it go out this way, I'm gonna have it go through this hole here. Okay, that seems like it would be cleaner. So we're gonna have it go through this hole down here, and then we'll figure out, we'll pull it back to the front the other way afterwards. All right, so we'll get this excess wire in, all pulled through. Okay, so that's cleaner because it goes straight down instead of going across. Here you can see you do have that one connector there, but that's not a big deal. Also, this case isn't see-through. There's no glass on the front, so it's not really going to be a bother. Okay, so we got the motherboard, the CPU connector up there, plugged in, CPU connector, motherboard connector. We got the GPU connected, and then all we need now is the 4-pin Molex, and I believe they use that for the fans. I didn't really check what it's plugged into, but I'm pretty sure that's for the fans because I don't see the fans all plugged in anywhere else. So here you have these 4-pin Molex. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get that plugged in, and we're gonna plug it on the last one here. Okay, so just grab that, line it up, push it together. You might have to pull these wings on this piece open, okay, and then push it in some more. All right, get that and that. All right, and there we go. So now we got all of that in. We just gotta now thread them through to the other side and then plug them into the motherboard. Then we'll worry about this cabling. All right, give me a second, I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So let's go ahead, make sure everything is good. Okay, so what we're gonna do first, kind of get all the wires lined up. We have all the twist ties from the cables that we took out. All right, we're gonna have to figure out how to get all of these back in nicely. Okay, we got all this extra wiring here. Okay, so we can kind of line this up how it was before. GPU one. Okay, so this time now we have this wire from the GPU one, and then the CPU one is over here. So what I'm going to do, let's see if I can route this up this way maybe. Okay. We're going to get this twist tie, get it in there, and we can just tie all of these together. Hopefully the one I got is long enough. Okay, let's see here. I might have to do like smaller bundles at once. Let's see if this doesn't reach. Okay, looks like it'll reach, just barely. And then we'll twist this together. Sorry if it's too far away. Hopefully you guys can tell what's going on here. All right, twist that all together, and then we'll just fold that out of the way. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and start getting some wires plugged into the power supply. Excuse me. All right, so we got that. Let's actually go lower here. All right, so we can get the CPU or the processor, sorry, the motherboard cable in here, in that hole. Good. Then we got the peripherals for the Molex cables. Alright, we got this for the GPU. We'll worry about all the extra slack later. And then we got the CPU one. Okay, so get all of that in there. Perfect. Let's flip this over to this side. And now we gotta plug all of this in down here. I'm probably gonna have to hold the camera down here for you to see. Okay, so let's see what we got. Motherboard connection is up here. Hopefully this might be an issue. You see that? There's this thing in the way, so I might actually have to undo the screws for this power supply, plug everything in, and then move it into place. So let me do that real quick, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So now we can move this over a bit, and we're gonna plug this stuff in. So we got the motherboard cable, so this guy goes in first. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, I think. Is that it? Get in? Okay, so we'll get that. Yeah, sorry. The problem is this tripod doesn't go that low, so we'll see. I'll just tilt it like this, and hopefully you guys can tell what is happening here. Okay, I'm gonna get that cable in, click that in. Got the other part here. Alright, get that lined up and pull that in. Now I don't have proper lighting. Okay, there we go. That up, lined up, and click that in. Perfect. Alright, what's next? We got the CPU and PCIe stuff at the bottom here. Okay. So now you can see there's the CPU and PCIe ones there. So we got 2 of those, and then we got 1 of just the SATA connections. So we're basically going to get this 4-pin, sorry, the 8-pin, and you can plug it in any of those. Okay, let's see. So this has, there's 1 up here, and then there's 2 down there. Let me actually plug this all in, and I'll be back because it's hard to do this while holding a camera in my way. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, as you can see, we got them all connected. You got the SATA, or not the SATA, sorry, the peripheral or Molex 4-pin. You got the CPU and GPU ones down there, and then you got the motherboard one up there. Alright, let's go ahead and put all the screws for the power supply back in, and then get this thing reassembled, or get the wires all cleaned up. Alright, so we're going to move back over here. We had the 2 screws down here that we need to put back in. Okay, and then we'll clean up all the wiring. So, same thing. Just get this guy lined back up here. Am I putting this in? Oh, there we go. I was pushing it too far. Okay. There we go. The one down here. Perfect. And then we have the 1 screw on the side. There we go. Alright. All that's left now is to pull the wiring, try and get it all cleaned up as much as possible. I don't know if this can even go up there. Nope. Okay, so we'll just keep it down here, I guess. Or we can tie it up like this. Oops, sorry. Let me angle this better. Alright. So what else we got? I'm going to pull all the excess wire through here so that it's hiding in the back, not in the front. Let me see here. Okay, so we got all this now. Alright, let's see here. Sorry, I know I'm not getting good angles for you guys, but... Alright, let's see. So we got this one that we can actually route all the way up there. Got this one. So all this excess cable, we're probably just going to route it up like that and then pinch it in. Okay, and make sure these wires are out of the way. Make sure this is out of the way. And this is out of the way. Alright, let's tuck that behind this wire. Okay, so we got all this. And get a twist tie here. Get that wrapped behind. Okay. Alright, and then we're going to twist this all in. So this wire kind of doesn't want to stay up there. So we're going to have to twist it in and then pull it through better. Okay, so let me try and get this. It's a little bit tricky here. Alright, I'm going to twist some of this together first to get it started. Then we're going to pull this wire through here. Hopefully it will stay. Uh-oh, it undid itself. That's the one issue with twist ties. It's a little more tricky to hold because you can't just pull one tab. Alright, so we'll twist this. Pull that up higher. Okay. Make sure to get all the wires in there. Need to go in. This needs to hide behind. Okay. Make sure to tuck everything in. Okay, and we'll tighten this up. Tuck that out of the way. Okay, we got all this extra wiring down here. Let's go ahead and get a twist tie and wrap that all up. See, we have all this extra wiring here. Okay, so we'll get that in the back. Alright. Pinch it all together. And twist this together. Oops. It's a little tricky because it's so puffed out until we get it twisted together. Okay. Alright, twist that up. Yeah, that's being tough. I need longer zip or twist ties. Okay. This. Twist it together. good. Hide all those cables in there, and we'll just twist this better. Continue twisting. Make sure it's nice and tight here. Alright. Get all those wires bundled together. Wrap that around. And there we go. Pretty much done. We can put one more up here just to kind of keep it from sagging down there. Okay, we'll get this wire in here. And wrap that up. And twist this one up as well. Alright. There we go. Alright. So there we go. We got all of that in. If you want, you can also twist tie one more of these. Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and grab that. And we'll twist tie this together. And we should be good. Alright. Let's pull this excess wire in here. Alright, so there we go. We got everything reassembled. We just now have to put the side covers back on. So let's see here. We'll lay it sideways like this so you can see it better. And we'll raise this up. Alright, and let's rotate it like that. So now we gotta just line up this with this. And line up the little pegs and push it down. Alright, and hopefully it'll fit. Oh, okay, no, this wire sticks up too much, so we're gonna have to adjust it. Okay, flatten this out, flatten that out. Alright, now it's more flattened. Let's see if we can get this on. We might have to separate these wires because the wires over here are kind of thick, but we'll see. Alright, this, tuck that big guy down there. And let's get this now lined up. Alright, there we go. Fits perfectly. We'll flip it over and we'll do the other side. Here's what the inside looks like if you're curious. Alright. Super clean. You only have this one wire here and then these few wires down. Sorry, down there. Alright, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and pop the last cover on and we're good to go. Alright. Last one. This all up. And there we go. Alright, that's all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Also, I don't know if this one pops out. It probably does. But, yep. There you go. So it pulls out, and you have this 3-fan configuration there. Alright, anyways. Put that back in. And if you're wondering, I guess here's the brand. Oh. What's that? GAMEKM? I don't know. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment on this video, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. Watch a few of my other videos, like and comment on those as well. And I'll see you all in the next one.